Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am the crazy short hairy dude. Maybe I should come up with a theme song or something. Anyway, um, we are continuing in our series on Dracula by Bram Stoker. Uh, we've established that the Count um, can do some pretty creepy things, including last time we saw him, well, Jonathan Harker saw him climbing down the wall of the castle in a lizard-like fashion. Just hands and his fingers and toes gripping the stones and just kind of crawling, head down, head first, just down the wall. Creepy stuff. All right, so let us get into this next part here. And this is kind of a shorter one tonight, so I'm gonna try to stop saying so much. Right, 15th May. Once more I have seen the Count go out in his lizard fashion. He moved downwards in a sidelong way, some 100 feet down, and a good deal to the left. He vanished into some hole or window. When his head had disappeared, I leaned out to try to see more, but without avail. The distance was too great to allow a proper angle of sight. I knew he had left the castle now, and thought to use the opportunity to explore more than I had dared to do as yet. I went back to the room, and taking a lamp, tried all the doors. They were all locked, as I expected, and the locks were comparatively new. But I went down the stone stairs to the hall where I had entered originally. I found that I could pull back the bolts easily enough and unhook the great chains, but the door was locked, and the key was gone. The key must be in the Count's room. I must watch, should his door be unlocked, so that I may get it and escape. I went on to make a thorough examination of the various stairs and passages, and to try the doors that opened from them. One or two small rooms near the hall were open, but there was nothing in them, nothing to see in them, um, except old furniture, dusty with age and moth-eaten. At last, I found one door at the top of a stairway, which, though it seemed to be locked, gave a little under pressure. I tried it harder, and found that it was not really locked, but that the resistance came from the fact that the hinges had fallen somewhat, and the heavy door rested on the floor. Here was an opportunity which I might not have again. So I exerted myself, and with many efforts forced it back so that I could enter. I was now in a wing of the castle further to the right than the rooms I knew a story lower down. Um, from the windows, I could see that the suite of rooms uh, lay along the south of the castle. The windows of the end room looking out both west and south. On the latter side, as well as to the former, there was a great precipice. The castle was built on the corner of a great rock, so that on three sides it was quite impregnable, and great windows were placed here where sling or bow or culverin could not reach, and consequently light and comfort, impossible to a position which had to be guarded, were secured. To the west was a great valley, and then, rising far, far away, great jagged uh, mountain fastnesses, rising peak on peak, the sheer rock studded with mountain ash and thorn, whose roots clung in cracks and crevices and crannies of the stone. This was evidently the portion of the castle occupied by the ladies in bygone days, for the furniture had more air of comfort than any I had seen. The windows were curtainless, and the yellow moonlight flooding in through the diamond panes enabled one to see even colors, whilst it softened the wealth of dust which lay over all, and disguised in some measure the ravages of time and moth. My lamp seemed to be of little effect in the brilliant moonlight, but I was glad to have it with me, for there was a dread loneliness in the place which chilled my heart and made my nerves tremble. Still, it was better than living alone in the rooms which I had come to hate from the presence of the Count. And after trying a little to school my nerves, I found a soft quietude come over me. Here I am, sitting at a little oak table, where in old times possibly some fair lady sat to pen, with much thought and many blushes, an ill-spelt love-letter, and writing in my diary, in shorthand, all that has happened since I closed it last. It is 19th century up to date with a vengeance. And yet, unless my senses deceive me, the old centuries had, and have, powers of their own which mere modernity cannot kill. Alright, so that's, like I said, it is a short one today. So that's the end of the May 15th entry. Harker is exploring parts of the castle now, and he's found a part of the castle that seems to be old and abandoned. That's in a more elegant, or used to be elegant, part of the castle. There's fine furniture and desks, and nice big windows where the moonlight's coming in. All those things. So, but if you remember from well, that might have been the 13th or the one before that, the Count did warn him not to fall asleep in any other part of the castle. And we will see why tomorrow. So, yeah. So this is kind of a preamble to something that's going to happen in tomorrow's entry. Um, yeah, it's going to get pretty crazy from here on out. So, hope everybody's happy. Hope everybody's doing well, and yeah, just enjoying life. Um, yeah, you be grateful for what you have. Spend time with your friends and family. Call your parents. Uh, all those things, all those good things. And until next time, remember that Jesus loves you so very much, more than we deserve. And yeah, God bless. Good night.